Hi and welcome back to another really quick sky practice. This time a beautiful sunny day and a simple beach scene. So I'm using my large bamboo Hake brush just to wet the paper really quickly. I'm wetting all my paper all the way down to my horizon line. My paper is Saunders Waterford cold press paper. It's taped to my board and my board's at an angle of about 45 degrees. I'm using large calligraphy brushes to start with for this. They're very large, they're 3 inches long and they're made of goat hair. I found them online. You can find them by searching for Chinese calligraphy brushes online. Amazon have them, eBay have them. I'm sure AliExpress has them as well. I've had these for a long time. I'm using raw sienna and now I'm using cerulean blue. I'm pushing these colours into the paper. I want the raw sienna to warm up the colour of the sky a little bit, so I get a little bit of a sort of a warm glow across the horizon. I'm running it through the raw sienna, that's the cerulean blue. I'm taking care not to scrub it too hard, because if I do that I'll probably end up with green in the sky, and I don't really want that. So I'm now using a clean damp flat brush to sort of feather through the stronger colours and to pull out some fine lines like little feathery clouds while it's all still wet through the whole painting. So in some places I'm lifting out with the damp brush, in others I'm using the tips of the brush just to feather the paint through, and you can see that it's giving me some lovely variety in the marks and the shapes and the soft diffusions of the clouds. A small damp squirrel mop is really useful with the sky to just soften out any areas or to catch any areas that maybe are a bit wet and might cause a run back. And also I'll probably remove a little bit of that raw sienna's a bit strong, but I'll get the water in now. I'll pull that across with my large bamboo Hake brush. And then using the same brush dipped into the thick raw sienna, I'll establish a beach, leaving plenty of white paper between the sea and the beach, so that I can then get the look of wave crests and the water's edge from the unpainted paper. A 3/4 inch flat brush and cerulean blue, just using the tips, will just define the edges of my water a little bit, going through the white paper, creating those waves. And then I'll wash the brush out, take off most of the water and use it to straighten off my horizon. It might take a couple of passes, and I keep my brush stroke quite slow there, because I'm being aware that I want to keep my horizon really, really flat and horizontal. Still trying to feather out that raw sienna cloud there that's above the horizon, pulling the tips of the brush through the painting, but I think it's still a little bit dark, so I'm going to take my clean damp brush. It's got to be only just damp, and you can see that I'm pulling off that extra raw sienna, and that's a lot better. That's integrated it quite nicely into the sky, and as it dries it should soften back even more. Now with my large bamboo Hake brush, this is burnt umber, so I'm getting in lots of lovely darks into the beach. This is a very quick practice, so I'm not worrying about detail. I'm keeping it really loose just to give the suggestion and impression of sand and stones on the beach through tone rather than detail. And lastly, I'll dip into some Payne's Grey, and I'm dotting that around with the tips of the brush using these horizontal strokes to add a bit of dark here and there in my beach area, wherever I think it would just benefit from a little bit of dark to make the rest of it pop. Contrast is really important here. If I can get some nice darks into my beach area, then it should show off the unpainted white paper at the water's edge and create that illusion of just the gentle waves. Now this is the corner of a plastic store card. I'm going to see if I can use the corner to etch through the paint and just add to that texture and the look of little stones and things. Going back in with a little bit of the darker paint, I think it's the Payne's Grey and the Burnt Umber, just to blend those etch marks in a little tiny bit, soften them into the beach. And I think that's just about it. I'm just going to leave that to dry now. I'm quite happy with that. I think that really does evoke exactly the kind of look that I wanted for this fresh summer beach scene. It's now nice and dry, so I'm going to remove the tape and see how it looks with its clean white border. When I pull the tape off, I make sure that I pull it away from the painting so that if it was to tear, then it would tear away from the painting. I think this took about 5 or 6 minutes to paint, so it just goes to show that if you can find a few minutes on a regular basis to practice your skies and to practice your painting, then you can still create some beautiful scenes very quickly and simply, keeping it nice and loose and fresh. Thank you so much for watching, and please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, as it really helps with my reach. And thank you so much to my lovely Patreon group who support this channel. I'll see you again soon, and happy painting. Bye.